Hello,
Hello,
I'm Tren,
I'm Lou.
and we are the tarot dealers.
We are.
We've got over 50 years experience, haven't we, of reading the tarot, working with tarot, teaching the tarot.
Jinx. Yeah. So definitely very like-minded,
Yes.
known each other for a long time, work well together. We both have modalities that we've
Yes.
actually created ourselves. So Tren
Yeah.
does tarot and tapping.
Yes.
And I have what's called Tarot Tells.
Yes.
So
She's written a book.
I have written a book, yeah, and you can go to my website, which is lulufletcher.com.au, and check out all of the free things on there. There's lots of freebies on there. There's also some, little online courses right through to the whole bigger kit and caboodle.
Yeah.
And if you want to work with Tren with her tarot and tapping, you can connect through Tren's socials or the Tarot Dealers socials.
Exactly.
And you can also get us through our email,
which is the tarotdealers@gmail.com.
There you go. So lots of different ways that you can
Exactly.
connect with us.
So get in touch. So, also ask questions, because you might just have a whole episode dedicated to you with your questions.
This is true.
Right.
This is true. You just might.
Yeah.
Or if, there's something you want to speak about or you want to share what you do, reach out. We'd love to have guests on.
Exactly. Have
conversations, because there's plenty of work for everyone.
Exactly.
And we'd love to hear about all of the other things that people do. All of the other things, so many things. We've had a few people on, haven't
we have. Doing
People
different things, and how they incorporate the tarot into their different things. So it's really interesting.
Absolutely. Or some people that don't even use tarot, right? Or they'll have cards of some kind. Yeah, we just love talking about it. So if that's you,
get in touch.
Absolutely, reach out. So we'll start with the card.
Start with the card.
Oh, look at that.
That flew out.
That flew out.
It is the Four of Swords.
Four of Swords.
And we're using the Dragon deck, the Dragon Tarot. Just look at the color on that.
Yeah, so it's very blue for those of you who are listening. Yes. And we have a dragon who's kind of sitting in a bit of a pocket kind of thing, bit of a cave kind of, but exposed at the same time. And we have three swords above him, and then he's kind of like sleeping on one. Yeah. So, what do you make of that?
It really is basically, if you need to take yourself out of life, take yourself out, not being horrible.
Yeah, rest, right? Rest is what she means.
I mean, rest.
Yeah.
if things are just getting on top of you.
Yeah, right.
Go and have a rest.
Yeah, and it might be about resting your mind.
Yeah.
Slowing the thoughts and that kind of thing. It might be about that.
I mean, some days when you just think, I can't get out of bed, put the covers over your head for an hour until you feel a little bit better. It doesn't have to be a day, a week, or whatever.
Yeah, you don't have to be on all the time, right? Beautiful colleague reminded me of that the other day. She's like, Lou, you don't have to be on all the time. Yeah. And I'm like, actually, she's right, I don't. So
no, you don't. No, so if you need some quiet time, or you just need to rest your body, your mind, take the time.
Take a rest. It's also a healing card, right? Yeah. And to heal, we need to rest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at all the blue. Like, there's so much blue on that card. So maybe actually we need to talk about how we're feeling. I know swords are not the feeling card.
No, but it's talk about
the communication. So if you are feeling upset or down or just out of sorts, tell somebody.
Yeah, talk about it,
Tell somebody. Yeah.
Reach out.
I think it's really important, because if it's out of our body, that's the start of feeling okay.
As the start of your healing journey, right? It's definitely, I love that trend. I love how you brought that up. So today we are taking a deep dive into the Magician, because we started our deep dive series, didn't we?
We did. So we're into the Magician, and now we will be using 4 different decks, just so you can compare. So we have the Rider-Waite Magician, we have the Dragon, we have the Modern Witch Tarot deck, and we have the Lightseers. So we will be looking at all 4 decks.
We will.
And just comparing.
So I'm just going to go off basically what some of the traditional symbols are, It is. And you might start to hear some thunder in the background. That's okay.
Because,
Looks
yeah,
like
look
we're
like
in for a storm. So anyway, all good.
Just adds to the interest.
Just adds to the interest, absolutely. So the magician himself, right, he can represent magic. He's known as a bit of a trickster. He's about manifestation and creation, right? He is the master of the trade, and we get the master of the trade stuff because he's got all the tools on the table that he needs. So he's got everything that he needs on this particular deck.
Yeah.
It's also on the...
It's on the Modern Witch
Modern
deck.
Witch, as well as
And when we talk about the tools, we're talking about swords, pentacles, cups, and
the wands.
And the wands.
Yeah. And it's also on the dragons, right?
So,
it's represented a little differently, but it's still there, right? All the elements are represented there.
But whereas light seers, it's completely different. It's just really, it's making magic, isn't it?
Yeah, that's how I feel about that card, making magic and getting the rhythm right. And it's he has his infinity moving around himself, creating his own world, right? Exactly. And that's very evident there. Yeah. Not so evident in these, believe it or not.
No.
Believe it or not. So the magician is the conduit, basically, however you say that, conduit.
In between.
Yeah, and he's in between like the spirit and the physical world, right? Now this is evident in this sign here, which one arm up, one arm down means as above, so below. Now that's also on the Modern Witch.
Yep, right. So you can see it.
Yeah, but the power is in the hand that points to the ground, right? Yeah. Because he's commanding that energy in here. So up at the top here saying here, now. Yeah. So he's like here at the top and brings it down and says now. And that's how he does that. Now he also speaks to willpower, right? Or the magician speaks to willpower, and he teaches us to believe in ourselves and believe in our ability, right? So he's pretty cool for that. The shadow side of the magician is about the manipulation, right? Being a bit of a trickster, deceitful, deception, that kind of thing is what we get, or a misuse of power, right? So this is on the shadow side, right? Misdirected energy is the other thing, right? Because you're bringing it in, right? So what are you bringing in? Exactly. Illusion, lack of focus, and self-doubt.
That's a big one.
It's a big one.
That's a big one.
Now, the number one, because that's the card that he represents here, one in numerology is about being a leader, right? So he's definitely a leader. He's independent. He has potential and drive, but he can be singular focused because it's a number one, right? So as above, so below, we talked about that before. And it's because the hand up in the air is receiving the energy and bringing it down and through to create it. So he makes things reality, and that includes ideas. Yeah. Right? Makes the ideas into reality. Yeah. What else have I got here? Yeah, the power is in the here and now, which we spoke about before. And it like happens on the earth plane. So he's the director, the conduit of the energy, which we said before. Now we manifest all the time. All the time we're having these thoughts in our heads and we're saying these things to ourselves. Our body is listening all the time. Our subconscious mind is carrying that around, and this is how we're manifesting, right? So are you aware of that?
Well, that's one thing to be aware of.
Absolutely.
You know, because a lot of times we're not present, are we?
Not at all. So that then brings in intentional manifestation. And he's a really good card to work with if you're looking at intentional manifestation. So what do you want, whatever it is you're manifesting, to look like, feel like, smell like, all of the things, right? All of the things. So the magician reminds us to step into our own power, to manifest and create the life. We have everything we need to do that. He reminds us of that. Now we're going to look at a couple of the symbols. So the infinity loop. Now I'm going to show the light seers because the infinity loop is actually there. Right, goes around him like that. That's the infinity loop on there. The infinity loop on here is above his head. And
also on the light seers, it's actually on its hoodie as well.
Oh, there you go. See, I missed that. Yeah.
So you definitely the big one, but if you'd missed that, it's definitely on his hoodie. I know I can't get in focus, but it's on his hoodie.
Excellent. So, and it's on like his third eye. Funny enough, right? It's on his third eye.
Yeah, and so the Modern Witch has got it above, like the right away.
Like the right away, yeah.
I'm just going to find it on the dragon one.
Probably represented in a different way, I think.
Yeah, it's not really obvious, is it? On the
No,
dragon one.
Be on there somewhere.
It'll be there. We'll just have to look for it.
It'll be how the energy's
moving through.
around. I'm just looking at the smoke.
That's what,
Anyway,
Yep.
that means that little loop, and it might be represented a different way, right? But that little loop is about the limitless power and the potential
that we hold.
That we hold. It's about us and what we hold, right? We can call on that energy anytime. Pardon me, can represent the cyclic nature of things, and it can represent the universe. Right? So all the different things. I'm going to look at the snake belt now. So there's a snake belt here. He's got
it
belt that is a snake.
Yeah. I can't see the snake belt on any of the others, really. That's the obvious one in the Rider-Waite.
Yeah, in the Rider-Waite. And this is the one that I've gone off, because this is the one I'm used to working with.
Yes.
But it will be in other areas as well. But it's about the wisdom and the knowledge, right? And the completion of that. Right, because it's joined together. The snake's like biting its tail, so it's wholeness and again infinity. Right now, the 4 elements we talk about, as Trina mentioned them earlier. That's your cups, your wands, your swords. That, but it's speaking about the mental, creative, emotional, energetic tools to navigate this world, this earthly plane. That's what they are.
That's what
right?
That is.
Yeah, the red is for action and power, and he has the red jacket there. So, and that's an outer jacket, right? The white is his spirituality, his harmony, and his purity. So there's a little bit of innocence about him sometimes. He's a bit pure, right? The flowers are emotion and reason, and they're also balance of desire and thought. Now, with the Rider-Waite deck, and Pamela Coleman-Smith created the deck. Well, she didn't create the deck. Arthur Edward White did it.
She illustrated.
She illustrated. That's it.
Yeah.
She was the artist, right? She's got a deck called Roses and Lilies, so she's connected to that, right? And this is the flowers that are here, the roses and lilies. So to me, to know that piece of information is indicating that there's a point where you can go back to the point of origin, right? So that's also what I feel he is about when we look at that.
Well, he's number 1, isn't he? So go back, if you go back to the point of origin, that is the beginning.
Right. So all these things can be shown in different ways, right? Even though, we're not seeing everything on all of the cards, it was shown in a different way. So the ruling planet is Mercury, right? And it's about communication. That's what Mercury is about, communication, intellect and speed is also represented here, and adaptability, because he can adapt, he can be really adaptable, right? Now, Mercury governs commerce, technology, and travel. Right, now you think about it, he could time travel, right? He could do a lot of things because he's creating what he wants.
He's bringing into being what he wants.
He is. And the element for this card is actually both air and ether. Now, ether is like the wider energy out in the universe. Now, that would be because he's tapping into that energy to bring it back down, right? Because he stands between the two worlds.
Two worlds, not the world, but you know what I mean?
He's a conduit, which we said before, right? So that's what happens in the middle. Now, he can represent Gemini as well as Virgo.
Oh.
See, I didn't know this.
I'm trying to work out how he represents Gemini.
Air, communication.
Oh, air, of course. I'm thinking twins, but no,
communication.
It's the communication.
The communication. So now he can present half truths. So you got to watch him, right? And he can hide in plain sight. So you got to watch him, right? But he also represents integrity and responsibility.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah, so he's, in a way, got the 2 sides, isn't he? Well, like you said, the shadow side.
And the twins. Come back to twins.
Right?
So, interesting when you start diving. Now, I had a couple of questions to ask here. And one is, how are you wielding your power?
Oh.
So have a think about that when the magician comes out.
Yeah, because you can wield it for the good or not.
That's exactly right. And
are you aligned with your purpose? Well, you're really aligned for it, because you could be wanting something, but it's not your truth. You know what I mean? It's not going to come in the right way that you want it, because it's not aligned with your central being.
Yeah, and that's the other thing, right? Like as time goes on and things change, what you might have wanted in the beginning may not be what you want anymore, but you don't have to stick to it just because you said that, right?
No.
You can change, be honest and aligned with yourself. Right?
And that comes into that adaptability, doesn't it? You don't have to, you have to be flexible.
Yeah.
Because even though you may want something, the rest of the world has moved on and you have to move with it.
Yeah. Yeah, right. If there's one thing that is certain, it's change.
Change.
Change is the only certainty, right? The sun will rise and the sun will set, and somewhere in there, in the middle, you don't have to wear glasses.
Exactly.
That's it. That's it, right? Okay.
And what are you seeking to create? Ooh.
So it gets you thinking, right?
It does.
What are you seeking to create? And, you know, like I saw this thing back on TikTok, right? Seriously. I saw this thing on TikTok where this lady was saying, no, you don't just want to say, for argument's sake, I'm going to use the example of being pregnant, right?
Yeah.
And she was saying, you don't just want to say, I want to get pregnant, I want to be pregnant. You want to conceive, grow, and birth a healthy baby.
So you're going through every stage,
right?
Yeah.
So that's what you do when you're creating.
Yes, right? It's like I want to win lotto, but unless you state I want to win the big prize, you'll win the lotto, but it'll be like $10.
Yeah. Well, there's that. Yeah.
But yes, be quite specific, I think, and go through the stages, like you said.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I'm going to talk now briefly, just while I'm looking through my deck here, about the Queen of Pentacles. And I'm bringing her into it because I actually feel that she is the physical representation of the magician on earth. And I'll show you why I feel that way.
Well, while Lou's looking, I'm thinking, if you look at the Queen of Pentacles, she's got the yellow all around, and the garden around her, hasn't she? So very similar. And it's almost looking at the Queen of Pentacles garden. Look how lush it is and grow only compared to the magician. So it's almost like she has nurtured and put what she wants to create into being.
Absolutely. And look at the clothing. Outer robe is red, inner robe is white. I had not noticed
that one before.
Yeah, inner robe is white. Together. Yeah. And the roses that run up around the head of the magician, like up around the top of the card, and how it runs up around there. Very similar. But yeah, so I wanted to bring her in, and that's why I feel that she is the physical manifestation of the magician. That's what I think. I'd love to know what your thoughts are on that, and maybe you've got other cards too that would represent that. So next question is, so think of your thoughts like spells, right? Think of your thoughts like spells. So what are you casting?
Yes, well, we said that we've got to be aware of our thoughts.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Thoughts bringing things into being. So let's be more conscious of what we are thinking.
What are you casting? What are you thinking? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, as far as yes and no cards go, the magician is a yes card.
Okay.
So he's like,
yep, you're
good. That's good. Now, remember we said before that he has all the tools of the trade, right? He has everything in his beck and call. He doesn't need to do any more courses. He doesn't need to do anything else. He's got everything he needs within him, and he can create whatever the fuck he wants, right? Mm-hmm. So when we pull the magician out, another question to ask yourself is like, what is stopping you from using those skills? What is stopping you from using the skills?
Yeah.
Another question.
Another question, because that comes back to, I think in the shadow side, you said about the self-doubt.
Absolutely.
It comes back to your doubts.
Absolutely.
And what you are thinking about yourself.
Absolutely. Yeah. So this is our deep dive on the magician. And whenever you draw the magician card to, you know, recall this episode and think about those things that you could be asking yourself, or that the magician is trying to bring into your awareness. Is it something that you've managed to, you know, conquer, to get on top of? Is it something that you've actually embodied, or is there more work there for you to do? Exactly. You know? Exactly. Or even expand your mind a bit to your own potential. Yeah. You know, sort of stop limiting yourself to, I can only do this bit. Yeah, stop playing small people. That the time of that is fucking done. That's done. Think big. Yeah, be yourself, truly be yourself. Yeah, and think big, right? And when you think big, think bigger. Absolutely. If you think you're thinking big, you're not. You're going to go bigger again, right?
Yeah, you've got the
So-
whole universe to play with, so much.
Absolutely. You've got the whole universe to play with. I love that. You've got the whole universe to play with. So get playing, get creating.
Yes.
Think about all of the things, all of the steps. What is it going to look like, feel like, taste? All of the
really
things.
embody it like you've already got it.
Absolutely embody it like you already got it, and go through the steps, right?
Yeah.
Which is like we said. And yeah, if you think you're thinking big, think bigger again.
Exactly.
That's what I would say.
Yeah.
Hope you've enjoyed this, right?
It's been good. It's been good. So we will in the next couple of episodes, we'll do another deep dive in something.
Yeah, we'll do a deep dive into something.
Let us know what you'd like a deep dive on.
Yeah. Let us know, because we'll do that.
Yeah, we'll just see, because we're just deep diving on the cards that interest us, that, and maybe sometimes we have a little bit of issue with, so we're just deep diving to clear things up.
Absolutely. And of course, you can always tap on it as Tren.
Exactly. Yeah, because, the issues we have are ours. So if we can clear them, make it easy.
Absolutely. We hope you've enjoyed that session. And
thank you for listening, watching,
liking, subscribing, sharing, inviting your friends, all things. Have an amazing rest of your day. And we will catch you beautiful souls next time.
See you later.
Big love. Bye.